The truth is, there's a problem with stackable battery systems, and no one's talking about it. You've probably heard it before. Don't worry, you can always add more storage later. It's the perfect pitch, right? Expandable, modular, future-proof. But after working with both DC and AC battery systems across California, I can tell you it's not that simple. Let's start with the DC stack systems, because this is where the marketing hype usually lives. And then we'll move into AC coupled batteries because they've got their own issues too. When these DC systems are first installed, they look fantastic. They've got this clean tower on the wall, the inverter sitting perfectly on top, tidy conduit, everything lined up like Lego blocks. But here's the catch. The way these systems are engineered makes expansion a lot more complicated than you've been led to believe. Adding another battery isn't as simple as snapping in an extra module. In most cases, the inverter has to come off the wall, the upper bracket comes off, then you slide in a new battery module, reinstall the inverter, reroute the conduit, make new connections, and then recommission the entire site. That's not a plug and play that you've been led to believe. That's a half a day's worth of labor minimum, and that's if everything goes smoothly. Now, that's just the physical side. The electrical side, that's where things really get messy. Each module in the stack has its own BMS, its own internal voltage, its own charge level. Your original stack might be sitting around 51.5 volts per module. And that brand new one, that just came from the factory, it might be sitting at 55.4 volts. That doesn't sound like much, but in DC systems, that's a big deal. Even a 1% mismatch can cause current to rush from one pack to another, tripping BMS faults, or worse, damaging the cells. So before installation, each pack has to be pre-balanced manually. This means connecting the new battery to a specialized lithium-ion charger and raising or lowering its voltage until it's within a very tight tolerance window. And here's the kicker. Most installers don't even know that's part of the process, and most homeowners have no idea it has to happen. When I was working on one of the early zone and battery systems years ago, I had a client who wanted to add more storage. And no, I didn't have a fancy balancing charger sitting around. I had to do it one module at a time, charging and discharging within the unit until every pack was within 0.1 volts. It took hours. And that's the reality. It's tedious, it's technical, and it's absolutely not easy expansion. And even if you do get them balanced perfectly, there's another problem: age. Your original modules have already been through hundreds of charge cycles. Their internal resistance has gone up, and their usable capacity has sadly gone down. So when you add a new module, it ends up working harder just to keep up. That means your shiny new battery starts aging faster, degrading more quickly to balance with the older ones above or below it. The stack still works, but efficiency and lifespan, they both take a hit. Now, let's talk about the part nobody ever includes in their quote: the paperwork. You'd think adding one extra 3, 4, 5 kilowatt hour module wouldn't require much, right? But in California, and honestly in most states, any changes to your battery system is considered a modification. That means new plans, new permits, new NEM applications, and a brand new inspection. Permits run about $500. Plan sets anywhere from $350 to $1,000, depending on the complexity of your project and if you're using the same installer. NEM revision fees are usually another $100 or so, and then you've got a technician waiting around all day for the inspector to show up. And here's the fun part: if the inspector decides to review your whole system, they can issue new corrections on things that were totally fine when they first installed it. That simple little upgrade just turned into a full day's project and a $1,000 headache. Now, none of this means DC stack systems are bad. They're actually really good tech. Products like Qcells Q.Home Core, the Canadian Solar EP Cube, the SolarEdge Nexus battery, and even point guard systems all perform exceptionally well once installed. The problem isn't the technology, it's the expectation. That add more storage later promise, it's mostly marketing. It's a way to close the sale. In reality, you're much better off sizing your storage properly the first time or planning on building a whole new stack later. And there's another detail they don't tell you. Most of these manufacturers don't even sell individual modules separately. They're sold in kits pre-sized at the distribution level. So even if you wanted to add one module, you might not be able to even get that pack. And that's exactly why I think Tesla limited the Powerwall 3 to 3 DC expansion batteries. They know what happens when you start mixing modules of different ages and voltage. By keeping it uniform, they avoid long-term headaches, firmware mismatches, voltage drift, balancing nightmares. It's all gone. It's not a limitation, it's a safeguard. Now, before you think AC coupled systems are immune, well, they're not. Take the Enphase IQ 10C or the older IQ 5P. Each one of those is a self-contained power plant, inverter, BMS, everything in one design. That design solves the voltage mismatching problem, but introduces a new challenge, synchronization. Every battery has to deliver power in perfect coordination with the others. If one battery runs warmer or has slightly older firmware, it can throttle down while the others keep going, creating imbalance, just over AC instead of DC. I've seen multi-battery Enphase setups where one unit keeps dropping offline under heavy load while the rest keep running. Firmware mismatches, Wi-Fi drops, grid profile updates, they all play a part. And yes, even adding an AC battery later still means you need new permits, new NEM paperwork, and a new inspection. Different tech, same reality. So here's the bottom line. Expansion sounds great. Integration rarely is. Whether it's DC stacks or AC coupled systems, there's a lot more to it than bolting another box on the wall. You've got electrical balancing, communication syncing, firmware compatibility, thermal management, and always the paperwork. The good news is these are some of the best storage systems we've ever had access to. But if you're designing a system today, size it for what you'll actually need in the next 10 years. Because you don't want to deal with this headache. Yeah, it'll cost a bit more upfront, but it'll save you quite a bit long term. And by the time you're ready to add more, chances are the technology will have evolved enough that starting fresh makes more sense anyways. I'm Dale with Renewable Innovations, and if you're thinking about adding storage or upgrading what you've already got, do it right the first time. Schedule a consultation at reinnovations.org. Just use the link down in the description. We'll help you size it correctly, avoid the permitting mess, and make sure your system performs the way it's supposed to. Because energy independence isn't about how many boxes you can stack, it's about building a system that actually works long term. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more honest breakdowns on solar and battery tech, and I'll see you in the next one.